It is no longer the narrow Indian footpath transformed by the Dutch into a broad thoroughfare flanked by farms and elegant estates, and later home to freed black slaves, immigrant hordes, nativist gangs, political grandstanders and rabble-rousers, flop houses, and late 19th century bawdy nightlife immortalized in song in the 1891 Broadway musical A Trip to Chinatown. Today, a cursory survey might suggest that much of the Bowery's storied past already has been obliterated. But the facades and the bones of nearly 200 buildings lining the 1.25 miles between Chatham Square and Cooper Square still conceal 2 centuries of New York history, so authentic, compelling, and enduring that the Bowery has just been listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Carrie Colhane, an architectural historian and associate director of the Two Bridges Neighborhood Council, who wrote the report that led to the designation, calls the Bowery the city's oldest streetscape. And despite a wave of gentrification, new restaurants, bars, and hotels, vestiges of the block's grimy, boozy past remain. Luc Santé, who chronicled the area in Low Life, said, "It may not seem as though there is much left of the Bowery at this point, but once you start really looking, there is quite a bit left." The Bowery Mission, the former YMCA across the street where William Burroughs once lived, the extraordinary fortress of solitude at the corner of Spring Street, the ex-Bowery Savings Bank at Grand Street, designed by Stanford White at number 130. Disjointed beauty is how Anthony M. Tung, a preservationist, described the juxtaposition of buildings like the restored Bowery Mission and the sleek new museum on a street where vagrants once paid 15 cents for an overnight bunk, and where hotel rooms can start at $500, and an apartment sold last August at number 259 for almost $5 million. The register includes number 40 to 42, a federal-style row house dating to 1807, acquired in 1822 by Henry Astor, the real estate investor and brother of John Jacob Astor. This is where the 5 Points riot on July 4, 1857, pitted the Irish immigrant Dead Rabbits against the nativist Bowery Boys. Festooned with signage, number 40 to 42 now houses a Chinese restaurant and a beauty salon. Number 46 to 48, where the Jing Fong restaurant now operates, was once the Bull's Head Tavern, where George Washington paused on his triumphant return to the city in 1783. The 4-story number 146 to 148, now the Soho Hotel, at Broome Street is described as the oldest hotel in New York still operating. It opened as early as 1805 and was also home to the Tammany Hall boss Big Tim Sullivan. At 193 Bowery was Military Hall, where the Metropolitan Police were organized in the 1840s, the Elks convened in 1868, and Emma Goldman orated in the 1890s. Mr. Santé said, "These things are as important to the American project as any colonial Williamsburg or Beacon Hill. Probably more so overall," he said. "The Bowery is the ancestral home of American popular culture which for 150 years, give or take, has been the country's most successful and remunerative export."